Three lighthouse keepers walked into the Scottish fog on December 15, 1900, and walked straight into one of history's most unsolvable disappearances. On that cold winter morning, the relief ship Hebrides approached Eilean Mòr, a remote island in the outer Hebrides. The crew expected the usual handoff, supplies exchanged, keepers rotated, logbook signed. Instead, they found the lighthouse abandoned. No keepers, no bodies, no sign of struggle, just an empty tower and questions that still echo today. The three men on duty that day were James Ducat, the principal keeper, Thomas Marshall, the assistant, and Donald McArthur, the occasional. They were experienced, reliable, and as far as anyone knew, perfectly ordinary. This telegram, right here in our records, was sent from the relief captain to the commissioners of Northern Lights. It reads, "All three keepers missing. No trace of them." The initial investigation uncovered something curious. The lighthouse was locked from the asterisk inside asterisk. Supplies had been laid out, fresh food, untouched. The beds weren't slept in that night, but here's what matters. The lamp was out. In a structure whose sole purpose was to emit light, the light had gone dark. Let me walk you through the evidence. Exhibit 1, the logbook. The last entry was dated December 12th. It reads in part, severe gale, then nothing. 3 days of silence before the relief crew arrived. No final entries, no well or farewell, just a pen that stopped mid-watch. Exhibit 2, the weather records. That December, the Hebrides faced a genuine Atlantic gale, winds that could strip paint off stone, waves that reached heights of 50 feet or more. The relief ship itself had been delayed for 10 days because of the storm. But here's the crucial detail. The storm had passed asterisk by December 15th. The sea was rough, not raging. Exhibit 3, the kitchen. A meal was half prepared. A chair was overturned. And this detail right here haunted investigators for years. A rope was found hanging over the west landing, tied to the railing. It led nowhere. It was attached to nothing. It simply dangled into the void. The official inquiry, and there was a thorough one, concluded that the keepers had likely been swept away by a freak wave while securing the exterior. A rogue swell, they said, happens on remote islands. The bodies were never found because the Atlantic keeps its dead. Case closed. Officially, that's still the answer. But the problem, and this is where the story gets interesting, is that the rogue wave theory doesn't quite fit. The island's landing was 35 feet above sea level. The highest wave ever recorded there, before or after, topped 45 feet. Possible. Yes, likely. The investigators themselves seemed unsure. Exhibit 4, the lamp oil. The supply was full when the relief crew arrived. If the keepers had abandoned their post in panic, fleeing a storm or danger, why would they have left the lamp room untended? A lighthouse keeper abandoning his lamp is like a soldier abandoning his post. It doesn't happen, not without reason. Some historians have suggested the men simply walked into the sea. A murder-suicide, they theorize. A shared delusion. Mass hysteria brought on by isolation. But there's no evidence of conflict in the logbooks. No signs of mental distress. The three men had been together for weeks without incident. Others have proposed more exotic theories, supernatural forces, paranormal activity, even alien intervention. These deserve a moment of honesty. They are unsupported by any physical evidence. What we have instead are gaps, silence, the absence of explanation rather than an explanation itself. Here's what we know with certainty. Three men, whose names we can speak, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, Donald McArthur, entered a lighthouse in Scotland on or around December 12, 1900. By December 15th, they were gone. The lighthouse stood intact. The supplies remained. The lamp burned dark. The relief ship's crew searched the island thoroughly. They found no bodies, no bones, no clothing, no traces of violence. It was as if the three men had simply ceased to exist. Not drowned, drowned men leave evidence. Not murdered, murder leaves signs. Just absent. Over 120 years later, Eilean Mòr still stands. The lighthouse has been automated now. No keepers, no human presence. Just machines tending the light. Every historian who's examined the case walks away with the same feeling. We're missing something. Some crucial detail that would make sense of it all. The official verdict remains: rogue wave, freak accident, act of God, and it's possible, even likely, that this is true. Three men, caught in a moment of terrible chance, swept into the Atlantic. It's an answer that fits most of the facts, even if it leaves us feeling like we're missing the whole story. What makes Eilean Mòr singular isn't that people vanished, people vanish. What makes it singular is the completeness of the mystery. No bodies, no ransom, no explanation that satisfies every detail. Just three men, a lighthouse, and the ocean. And the question that echoes across 124 years: what really happened that December? The Eilean Mòr Lighthouse keepers remain missing. Their fate unresolved. And that absence, that refusal to yield its secret, is what makes this one of history's most enduring mysteries. Subscribe. Every week we uncover another case where history refused to give up its answers.